Hi, my name is Jason Palmer, and I'll be the TA for this course. In this case, that means I will be the one grading your work, especially your five reflections. Since I'll be grading your work, I'm essentially the audience for your writing, and that means you're going to want to know a little bit about me. I'm a professional K through 12 international educator. I've been a licensed educator for 9 years and have taught in Bolivia, Taiwan, Turkey, Japan, Peru, and the US. I was in your shoes in the year 2001. In fact, where was I when the Twin Towers fell? I was in the education building at a small state university in Utah called Weber State, typing up one of my own reflections for a course very similar to this one. I got a double major in anthropology and education. Then I became an educator, mostly fourth or fifth grade homeroom teacher, and I was promoted to a school district level position where I trained teachers on foreign language teaching methods. After 1 year of that, I quit and went back to my first love, which is anthropology. And so now I'm a sixth year graduate student of anthropology here at UCI, and my research is kind of unique. I study the phenomenon of Peruvian Mormon migration between Peru and Utah. And just to give you an idea of how much I love anthropology and education, I actually read ethnographies for fun, like in my spare time without being forced. Ethnographies are the books that anthropologists write. So right now I'm reading one that is very relevant to this class by Savannah Shange called Progressive Dystopia, Abolition, Anti-Blackness plus Schooling in San Francisco. So that's a little about me. Now, what do I expect from you? Well, I expect you to introspectively and concisely answer those four questions in the mechanics section of Professor Goodridge's syllabus under the instructions for the five reflection papers you will be writing. Take a look at those instructions carefully. Look at the title of those assignments. Are they called summaries? Are they called essays? No, they are reflections. What is a reflection? Well, a reflection is when you look in the mirror and get real with yourself about questions number 3 and 4. Question number 3 is, what did the lecture add to your understanding of the topic? Well, how can you answer that if you don't reflect deeply on what your understanding of the topic was before you heard the lecture? I want to know about what you thought before and how that relates to what you think now. Then the final most important question for each of the five reflections is, how do you position yourself on the issue? Well, part of that question that is implied in the fact that this is a reflection is why? Why do you position yourself that way? What is it about the issue that makes you position yourself that way? But most of all, what is it about you that makes you position yourself that way? Be introspective. What kind of person are you? What kind of background do you have? And how does that shape your feeling about the issue? That means these reflections are going to necessarily be extremely personal and maybe even quite controversial. That's great. If there is anything I can't stand, it is a paper that is mostly a boring summary of only questions 1 and 2. I already know what the answers are to questions 1 and 2. You only have one double-spaced page, so be extremely concise with questions 1 and 2 and spend the bulk of the page on questions 3 and 4. Also, I'm a grade school teacher, people. I have eyes in the back of my head. I can tell right off the bat if you are, as they say in Peru, metiéndole floro into this reflection, or if you are, as we used to say when I was in undergrad in the extremely conservative state of Utah, where almost nobody cusses, BSing the reflection. In other words, make sure you write something that there is no way you could have written had you not actually listened to the lecture and fully done the readings. So please look at the document called Message from the TA for information about my own virtual office hours, and I look forward to reading your work.